Welcome to Mayor's Minute on Castanet.net. I'm Dustin Godfrey, and as usual, joined by Mayor Andrew Jacobite. Welcome.
Thank you.
Today we're going to be looking at the tax multipliers, specifically looking at the business tax multiplier, which can be a little bit of a difficult subject to kind of stomach for a lot of people. But to kind of simplify it a little bit, it's it's essentially a way for City Hall to weigh taxes. So if the business tax multiplier is higher, then the individual's property taxes are going to be going down, and the business property taxes will be going up. Now on Tuesday, Council voted to keep the business tax multiplier at the same level as it was, rather than continue on a downward trend. Now, I understand that the intention of driving it down would be to kind of try to attract more businesses to the area, but like at what point does that become too low?
Yeah, and I think that's was part of the debate, and really the multiplier is the difference from what businesses pay over and above a resident, and trying to spread the tax burden and trying to have a fair number. So 2 years ago, Council said over the next 4 years, let's drop it down to 1.5, and so we can be very attractive with our tax policy for businesses. And we started going that trend for 0.4 every year, and this year we kept it at 1.58 instead of 1.54. And part of that argument was, just because you have the lowest business tax doesn't necessarily mean that's not the determining factor for a business to come here or to stay here. And so what staff also recommended was we looked at our business competitiveness. And so all elements of what we are doing or not doing for business should be evaluated, because sometimes we sort of look at things in isolation. We talk about their utility rate, we talk about their tax, we talk about economic investment zones or other things, investments for the business community or for events and all those sorts of things. And we haven't really measured their success. It's been sort of anecdotal, or we haven't really been able to validate. 1.58 is the number. The Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses say the number should be 2 or lower. The city of Kelowna, I think, is 2.2. Vernon is 2.7. We're at 1.58, and we're I think the 6th lowest in the province. And the comparator communities that are near that lower number that we are all smaller centres that don't have the amenities, the infrastructure, the skilled labour that the larger centres have, and a lot of that costs, and so are being too aggressive. And I guess that's what Council chose. It was a 4-3 vote. It was a spirited debate to really maybe take a pause, much like we took a pause with parking, and really evaluate what that number is, or what our business competitiveness is, and what we should be doing to address it, and how that affects that balance between business and residents.
Sure. So I guess one thing that kind of strikes me is, I know it's kind of been a bit of a truism around here, is that it's not really hard to find a job around here, but it's very difficult to find a place to live in Penticton. So, I mean, wouldn't the community kind of benefit maybe from, like you said, we're the 6th lowest in the province for the business tax multiplier. So wouldn't the community maybe benefit actually from bringing the business tax multiplier up a little bit to drive individual property taxes down?
Yeah, and that's also part of the interesting debate, because the residential tax base is so large. So when we make some of these changes, it might only be $10 for the whole year, but across all the residents, it is. And over time, if you keep on keeping it low, it becomes problematic. And our tax multiplier has been over 2 in the past and down to 1.5, and so it fluctuates. And I think that was part of our rationale to put a pause and just sort of look at all the avenues of our business competitiveness. And part of our official community plan and affordable housing is, and that's one of the barriers for businesses for growing, not just skilled labor, but for skilled labor to find a home and for people to live here. And so I think that's one of the equations we need to look at into what we need to address to make sure the city is competitive for businesses that are already established to grow, and for new businesses in the industry to consider coming here to expand or set up shop.
Thank you. That's been another edition of Mayor's Minute on Castanet.net. If you've got a topic you'd like to put to the mayor, you can send it straight to me at godfrey@castanet.net. If you have any thoughts on this topic, you can send us a letter to letters@castanet.net. Thanks again to Mayor Andrew Jacobite, and for Castanet News, I'm Dustin Godfrey.